Still work back.
Well, she got her daddy's car and she's cruising to the hamburger stand now. Seems she forgot all about the library like she told her old man now. And with the radio blasting, goes cruising as fast as she can now. And she'll have fun, fun, fun till daddy puts the TV away. Fun, fun till daddy puts the TV away. She drives like an ace now, looks like an ace now. The Indy 500 looks like a Roman chariot race. Drives like an ace now, drives like an ace now. A lot of guys try to catch her, but she leaves them on a wild goose chase now. Looks like an ace. We'll have fun, fun, fun till her daddy gets the TV away. Fun, fun till her daddy gets the TV away. I'm gonna wake you up early 'cause I'm gonna take a ride with you. We're going down to the Honda shop, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Put on a ragged sweatshirt, I'll take you anywhere you want me to. Going right, that's the gear. Going right, that's the gear. Going tight, faster, it's alright. It's not a big motorcycle, just a groovy little motorbike. It's more fun than a barrel of monkey that two-wheel bike. We'll ride on out of the town to any place I know you like. First gear, it's alright. Going right, third gear, going tight, faster, it's alright. Pack it up, body gonna shut you down. It happened on the street where the road is wide. Two shorts standing side by side. Yeah, my two detectives angry and I'm 413, but they're revving up your engine and it sounds routine. Pack it up, body gonna shut you down.
We're here with Frank.
Yeah, it's basically a 426 Chrysler Hemi with all non-stock parts. I mean, it's got an aluminum block and a supercharger on it. The only thing that's really stock on the car is the cylinder heads. We have special valves, special crankshaft, special cam, pistons, rods. The motor itself is worth about $12,000, and it puts out, when everything's working right, about 2,000 horsepower.
You're number 2 in the world.
Qualified. All right, we're going to have a look now at Gordy Bonnet, and he's coming up against Bill Spivak. And welcome, Graham Blank.
Thank you, Tim. And of course, Bonnet qualified in the number 1 spot with a fine 6:41 last night. Here we are with the first round of the Red Rooster Winster World Championship Series. 240, Gordy Bonnet. Of course, doing the burnout to heat up the tires, heat up the track surface, looking for maximum traction here at Edmonton International Speedway.
Still called the bleach out, but they do not use bleach anymore.
No, it's straight water that they are using.
Right? Why the change? And how long ago did they implement the change?
A couple of years ago, and they found that water does just as well, the compound of the tires being as soft as they are, that all the drivers are really trying to do is heat up the tires, heat up the track surface. As you see Bill Spivak in the UAP car of Jeff Goodwin's pulling it, as we call the bleach box. How about the water box? Does that sound better?
I guess it's more timely. You hear the track announcers in the background.
Okay, the starter now pulling him into the starting line. Bonin in the left lane. Of course, Spivak with Jeff Goodwin's car in the right-hand lane.
Jerry Verhoff from Seattle, Washington.
Gordon Jenner giving the instructions to Joe Spivak. Final instructions prior to staging the cars. The cars pull up to the starting line.
Into the lights. For you down the top end of the track, we will give you who's got the advantage coming out of the hole.
Okay, they're off, and it looks like Bonin is going to... Spivak getting out of shape slightly. Bonin pulls ahead, and he runs through with a fine 6.
That might be new to drag racing. Probably wondering why the false starts, why the jerk motion up to the line, that sort of thing.
It's all a matter of trying to get heat into your engine. The hotter the engine gets, of course, the more power it develops. You're also trying to heat up the tires and the track surface, looking for traction. Drag racing is strictly a traction-type sport. Putting 2,000 horsepower to the starting line and going to go from point A to point B in over 200 miles an hour in less than 6 seconds or in the 6-second area. So you're very reliant on, of course, power and traction, and that's what they're doing. They're heating up the motors, heating up the tires. Nitromethane is actually not a very volatile fuel until it's under heat and compression, and that's what these guys are doing. Heat up the cylinder temperature, and then the nitro actually turns into something that you could maybe compare to dynamite. It explodes in the motor.
This is Steve Leach from Artesia, California in the black car. At the bottom of your screen, top of the screen, is Joe Clement from Washington, Bothell, Washington. And Graham Light will pick it up from there.
Okay, Clement is staged. We're just waiting for Steve Leach to pull up to the starting line. Second pair of cars in the first round of Funny Car Eliminator at the Red Rooster Winston World Championship Series. There you see the stage lights, and they're off. Both cars having a little traction problem, swaying from side to side as Leach goes through first with a 7:15 to a 7:17 for Joe Clement. So Steve Leach will go into the 32-year-old. Also the number 2 qualifier, Tim, so he's probably the one that is going to give Bonin the hardest fight today. Luppy, the number 6 qualifier.
Luppy's the old man of the funny car racers today, 35 years old.
Well, that's old. That's older than me. Not that much.
Luppy with his burnout.
The racer.
Here they come. Edging up to the line. You might explain the Christmas tree working.
Well, there's 2 beams of lights on the starting line, Tim, and the first one is an indication that you're getting close to the starting line. It's called the pre-stage light. The car's front wheels break the beam of light. It puts a little bulb on the very top of the tree. It says pre-stage. There you see it there. And the bottom one is the stage light. They're both on now. The car's are staged. There goes the green. Miller getting out of shape, almost hitting the guardrail. Luppy's ahead. Miller's coming on fast.
Miller's got it.
Boy, was that close. Miller goes through to 795 to Luppy's 783. Luppy actually went quicker, and I'll just explain how they do that is the timing clocks don't start until the car actually leaves the starting line. And so this would be a case that Miller did leave the starting line first. Luppy actually ran the distance quicker than Miller, but of course the drag race is won by who crosses the finish line first, and Miller did that. Ran 207.85 miles per hour. Now the final pair of cars of the first round of Funny Car Eliminator here at the Red Rooster Winston World Championship. Bob Kaepernick out of Edmonton. Nitro Nick Harmon.
Winning that last race, Mike Miller will go up against either Kaepernick or Harmon.
That's right. Kaepernick at the top of your screen. Nitro Nick Harmon from Oregon in the bottom of your screen. Brand new car for Kaepernick this year. Of course, last year he drove Jeff Goodwin's UAP Associate car.
The hometown boy, Kaepernick, from Edmonton.
Sponsored by Dutch Jewelers, and Ed Greco is involved in the car also, as there goes the lights. Kaepernick getting out of shape, heading towards center line, but ooh. Nick Harmon, it looked like it scared him. He shut it off. Kaepernick, he goes through first for the win. A 797, well off the pace, and Harmon with a 897.
Welcome to
Jimmy Johnson with the Color Fast car. It's Keith Faulkner out of Edmonton. First round of Pro Comp Eliminator. Red Rooster World Championship Series, Edmonton International Speedway. These cars develop about 1,500 horsepower. Running in the 6-second area at right around 200 miles an hour, Tim.
That is in opposition to the funny cars who you mentioned before who was running about 2,000 horsepower.
Right.
That's a lot of energy.
Both cars are pre-staged. Jim Johnson staged. Keith Faulkner staged. There's the lights. And what a close race this is, but it looks like Johnson's ahead as he goes through with an elapsed time 6.90 seconds, 198 miles an hour, to Keith Faulkner's 7.18, 193 miles an hour. So there you see Kenny Sitko.
You notice that nowadays the engines are behind the driver. In the old days they were in front. Why the change?
A new concept. It's a better weight distribution, plus it's a lot safer for the driver. You're sitting in front of all the chances of fire or pieces being kicked back. And here they go. Bucky Austin against Kenny Sitko. Tim, it's a close one, but Bucky Austin pulls ahead with an elapsed time 6.95, 195 miles an hour, to Kenny Sitko's losing 7.31 at 181.
So in the next round, you're going to see Jimmy
Explaining a few
Johnson.
minutes ago, we do run different classes of cars in Pro Comp, all on a heads-up basis. AA altered, Chevrolet powered. Good-looking car.
Okay, starter Ray Rice in between the cars.
I guess we can't bet on television.
Looking over Bramley.
I don't think so.
The bet is
I don't
on.
know. You're the TV guy. I'm not.
I just thought about that one. The bet is officially on.
Okay. There they go. There goes the lights. Davenport on the left of your screen, Bramley on the right hand. But boy, this is a close race, but it looks like Davenport's ahead as he goes through with an elapsed time 7.10, 194 miles an hour, to Brent Bramley's losing 7.32, 183 miles an hour. Doesn't cars basically look just like a top fuel dragster, the wing on the back. Actually, they're identical, except that they use methanol alcohol instead of nitromethane.
Both coming into the lights. Freeze lit up for
They're getting ready.
Joyce Everett.
Race is at hand. American against Canadian. Wayne Bennett in the right-hand lane. Severance on the left-hand side of your screen. There goes the three.
Everett, the advantage, midway down.
Severance goes through with a 6.87, 200 miles an hour, to a 7.09, 191. Looks like the first two out, the Van Cleve entry from Boise, Washington, the B Factory, or Boise, Idaho, I should say, the B Factory experimental car, Jim Van Cleve doing the driving, against Jim Water with a C Factory experimental. In Comp Eliminator, we go into the 5 amber tree, and we do have handicaps, where one car will leave the starting line first, and the faster car will have to play catch-up. In this class, Jim Water, the car at the top of your screen, will get the head start over Jim Van Cleve. See the lights come down, and there goes Jim Water, and Van Cleve having to play catch-up with his B Factory experimental car. Doesn't look like he's going to do it. Jim Water going through the top end first with an elapsed time, 9.79 seconds, 134 miles per hour. Eliminator has a mixture of many classes of drag racing. Small dragsters, altered, factory experimental cars. All cars burning strictly gasoline. No alcohol or nitromethane allowed in these classes. Roy Burke
It's from someplace called Milwaukee, Oregon.
Mike Berder out of the Seattle area. Three comes down, full body car getting the head start over the dragster. Dragster having to play catch up. First round of Comp Eliminator. Winston, Red Rooster World Championship Series. And the dragster goes through first with an elapsed time 9.21 seconds, 145 miles per hour, so he advances to the next. Cars inching into the staging lights. 2 lights on the top, of course, the 3 stage lights. An indication that the cars are close to the actual starting line. Hit the starting line, the stage light goes on. The dragster is staged. Steve Stoughton pulling up, and he is now staged. There comes the tree. You see the car in the left lane getting the head start. Dragster having to play catch-up.
Catching up, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to
Looks
do
like
it.
Steve Stoughton is going to do it to the dragsters. He does, with an elapsed time 9.51 seconds, 140 miles an hour. To Rich Yardley cruising 858 to 164 miles an hour.
Here comes
Going to the next pair of cars, a Cop Eliminator, the Fromm brothers, with their D-Altered, against Dave Rutherford and the Rutherford brothers, the Econo Altered. Having trouble talking, Tim.
I like some of the towns that these guys come from. You've got the Fromm brothers. They're from Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan, are they not?
Pilot Butte?
Yeah.
Where is that? It's like Bruce Bowie's Piapot.
I think they're all in the same area. I think it's near
The suburb of Piapot, Saskatchewan.
Only it says Pilot Butte, Alberta here. Oh, it was in Saskatchewan. No.
Rutherford brothers, originally out of Edmonton, now making their home south of here in a place called Calgary. You know where that is?
It's down near Acme or something.
Full weekend, 2 days of drag racing.
Okotoks?
Between Okotoks and Airdrie, I think.
Winston World Championship here.
That's it.
Happening all
This is Rutherford and Harry Fromm. Dave Rutherford.
There come the lights. Rutherford getting the head start. The Fromm brothers playing catch up with their Altered, pulling the wheels off the starting line. Looks like the Fromm brothers passed what they did. The lapse time 8.77 seconds, 153 miles an hour, to Dave Rutherford's 10:50, 130 miles an hour. Barry Dowdy's C Super Modified car, Tim, against Ken Reish out of Edmonton with a C Super Modified car also. So this will be a heads-up start, no handicap. Both cars are in the same class. Ken Reish, sponsored by Wheeler Dealer, in a hard-running car.
pulling up into free-staging right now. Jim Camaro in the Tower Lane.
Stick around. We're going to be back with the second round of the funny cars right after this.
Larry Dowdy out of Seattle, Washington. Left-hand side of your screen. Ken Reish out of Edmonton. Wheeler Dealer car on the right-hand side of your screen. Both cars pulling the wheels as they leave the starting line. Side-by-side race as they go down the racetrack. And it's Ken Reish gets there first. Tom Turner out of Puyallup, Washington. Costa out of Bellevue, Washington. Costa's going to have his hands full here, Tim, as Tom Turner, the number 4 qualifier and defending Division 6 Modified Eliminator champion from 1978. He's tough.
Nice guy, too. Tom Turner. And all these guys.
Most of them are great guys. Great guys. Turner getting the head start. Pete Cost red lighting, knowing that Turner is a fast car, trying to get the advantage off the starting line. It didn't work. He left too soon. Red lit. Tom Turner goes on to the Corvette on the right-hand side of the screen. The lights come down. The Corvette's pulling the wheels hard. Well, it's going to be close on the top end. Steve Nelson goes through with his...
USA.
Most of these guys are all good friends during the week and prior to the event, but at this point, they're bitter enemies. Jim Johnson with a Color Fast car. Color Fast very involved in drag racing in the city. Both cars are pre-staged. Johnson pulling up to the starting line. He's staged and ready. Looks like Bucky out. There goes the lights. Close race, Tim. As they come down, and it looks like Johnson. That right now into second round of funny car eliminator.
There's Gordy Bonins.
Both cars have fire in
Trans
the
Am.
Gordy Bonnin's body being lowered down on the pacemaker.
Slightly altered.
Bonnin's car owned by Ron Hudson, a car dealer here in the city. He's racing Steve Leach out of Artesia, California.
Beautiful looking fiberglass body.
Leach's first round beat Joe Clement. Bonin, of course, beat Bill Speedak. Jeff Goodwin's UAP car first round.
I think Bonin has to be favored.
Gordy
Definitely. Bonin, Steve Leach getting out of control right off the starting line, shutting it off. Bonin goes through for the win easily with a 6.54. The bottom of your screen, pulling up to the starting line. Miller at the top of the screen. Kaepernick could be in a little trouble. A little blue smoke coming out of the headers on the left side of the motor.
Pulling into green stage. The green Coast Guard stage here.
There they go. Miller sideways, almost crossing the center line. Woo.
Miller, a lot of shape.
Boy, did he pull away, though.
Kaepernick shutting it off. Miller goes through with an off-the-pace 7:27, 211 miles.
Reswick car first to stage. Both cars to stage now. Starting like this one will come.
Competition eliminator, the semifinals. Lights come down. Red light for the dragster. Factory experimental car. Jim Waters on into the final.
For the Carno dragster in the tower lane. Bringing out the red light. Elimination to the Red Rooster Winston World Championship Series.
Okay, the race is at hand, Tim, and here come the lights. Head start for Steve Stockton. Red light for the Fromm brothers. Steve Stockton out to the next round of the final comp eliminator via the red light.
The bottom of your screen, that's Tom Turner. Bill Foster, the black car up top.
Bill Foster easing in the
Final round, Tim, of modified eliminator of the Red Rooster Winston NHRA World Championship Series. Tom Turner, the defending Division 6 champion for modified eliminator from 1978. Both cars are staged. Here comes the three, the final round of modified eliminator.
Bill Foster.
Bill Foster's going to take the win as Tom Turner, if you caught it, left a big red light on the starting line. So Foster goes through,
World Championship.
winning time, 10:17, 132 miles per hour.
Well, you know Tom Turner's got to be.
Steve Stoughton at the bottom of your screen, Jim Water with the factory experimental car at the top of the screen. The final round, comp eliminated from an 8-car field down to this pair of cars you see now.
Down to the bottom of your screen. That's Waters up top.
Both cars are staged. Here comes the lights, Tim. Race is at hand. The final of comp eliminator. Jim Water on the right-hand side of your screen. Steve Stoughton trying to catch up, and he doesn't do it. Jim Water goes through. Elapsed time, 9.80, 137 miles an hour for Jim Water. And he was the Edmonton NHRA Winston World Championship winner in comp eliminator.
Down to the final car has never run.
Joey Severance inching up to the staging lights. And here comes the color fast car, Jim Johnson's.
You at the top end of the track will give you the advantage as they come off the line.
Getting noisy down there.
Color fast in the tower lane. Severance on the spectator side. Both cars are staged.
Okay, they're ready. There goes the tree.
The last one to stage.
side race, Tim.
Jimmy Johnson takes it.
Johnson with an elapsed time, 6.89 seconds, 195 miles an hour. Severance losing 7:12, 194. What a close race at the finish line that was. Buddy car eliminator at the Red Rooster Winston World Championship Series. Mike Miller at the bottom of your screen. Gordy Bonin in the pacemaker car at the top of your screen. There they go, side-by-side action as they come down the racetrack.
Look at Bonin.
Looks like Bonin as he goes through first with an elapsed time, 6:42, 223 miles an hour, to Miller's losing 6:65.